Hey guys, it's David from WCS Canada here. I thought I'd go over a topic that I get a lot of questions about, and that's our shipping. So basically, I'm going to go over basically how shipping works here, our policies. I'm going to go over an order, and I'll show you some examples, and then at the end, I'll do some tips and tricks and stuff like that. So here at WCS, our two online providers for carriers is generally Canada Post and UPS. We not saying we can't use Purolator, FedEx, Canpar. We can, but you'd have to phone in. We can even do them on your account if that's what you want done. It's pretty easy. So basically with Canada Post and UPS, the reason we use them online is because they integrate well into the website, fairly easy. We use a program called Boxify, and basically what that does is it takes your various items and it knows the dimensions of them in a rectangular type fashion, so with a length, width, and height. And what it does is it takes all those dimensions and it figures out the box, and then it puts them into the most appropriate box that we have on file. Now, in saying that, it's not perfect. It can account for void space in items, so in case traps where I can put an item inside another one, it can't account for that, so it's going to be a bit of an overestimate. You see those items that can stack, so like an item that can stack, it's going to stack them as if it's solid object, where I can sometimes stack them further, only take up about an inch more space. So that's something to keep in mind, and I'll go more over that in the tips and tricks and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of shipping programs out there that have kind of a small business in mind, I find. Most of them, I think, are looking at trying to support big corporations that send huge amount of packages that have huge discounts and so forth. So I'll start off with Canada Post. So for Canada Post, we are what we consider a level 4 small business discount rate. It's basically the highest you can go under our current scheme without negotiating directly with Canada Post. And truthfully, we're just not big enough at this point to accompany that sort of negotiations. So it's not really in the books right now. We do have a discount. It usually ends up being $2 or $3 off of what maybe a usual residential user would get. With Canada Post, they do have a minimum size for packages. So basically, that would be 23 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. So that's their minimum size package. And when we print out a label, we basically need a face that is 4 inches wide by 6 inches long to get our label on it. And that label can't be scrunched or crunched. So you have to also keep that in mind. So with most carriers, including Canada Post, there's 2 weights. There's an actual weight that you get off the scale, and then there's what they call dimensional weight. And a dimensional weight is something where they find the volume and they divide by a factor. So for expedited or higher, I believe that factor is 5,000. And then if you do your volume in centimeters, and then for regular parcel, that factor is 6,000 if your volume's in centimeters. So basically, any package I send out of here that's not an envelope is going to have a minimum charge of somewhere between $10 and $13, even if it's going to the same postal code. So like we're located here in Prescott. If I send something within Prescott, it's going to be $10 or $11. So basically, what that also means is, so like this is a 4x4x4 box. I can't actually send it because I can't fit a label on it. This one here is 6x6x3 inches. So this is the smallest box that we'll send out, and they'll charge us the same amount as this if the weights were identical. Now if this weighs like 4 pounds and this weighs a pound, then it wouldn't be identical. But volume-wise, no matter what, whether it's half a pound or whatever, they're still going to charge us $10 or $11. So that's something to keep in mind, and that's where when I go over in the hints and tricks, where if you can couple stuff with like cage traps, or if we can stack items, it becomes very advantageous to order certain quantities of stuff. And you also have to think about the items that you're purchasing. How well do you think they would fit in a box or stuff like that? So like, for instance, I just sold a bunch of copper stuff. They bought 6 rolls. The box I had to put it in would hold 2 more at the same volume. So you have to kind of work out the cost benefit of, well, does it make sense to buy 2 more rolls for an extra $1 worth of shipping instead of waiting and buying 2 more rolls, say, down the road? So like, always think about what you're buying and how they might fit in a box. I know it's kind of hard if you've never done it, but it can be very advantageous. And if you ever worried about shipping, feel free to phone us. I can do a quote, or I can recommend a certain quantity of things to order if you need to order more than one, or it's a reoccurring order or something like that. With UPS, with Canada Post, if you order before 2 p.m. on Monday through Friday, I can usually get it out same day. I have to physically go down there and package them and hand them to the post office. They don't pick up. So that's why our hours are also they end at 3, because I have to go down to the post office by 3:15 for them to make it onto their truck for that night. With UPS, it's next business day, and unless I already have a pickup scheduled for that day. So they charge us roughly probably somewhere between $3 and $5 for a pickup. So I don't have them just every day. I don't get enough UPS shipments to warrant that. So basically, I make a pickup every time, and if I have parcels to pick up that day. So unless there's a pickup already made for that day, it's going to be next business day. And I will admit that UPS, sometimes their system is a bit haywire and they don't show up that day. It might be the next day. And that also brings up, when you go through our shipping thing, you'll see estimated times. That is an estimated time. That is not a guarantee by any means. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of people, well, it says it'll be here next day. Well, if you pick UPS, it doesn't even leave our facility until next day. And it states that within our shipping policy. So I just want to make sure that's pretty clear. Also, you have to factor in holidays, like we just went through Canada Day, so we were closed Friday. So if you ordered something Thursday, it's not going to get out until Monday. UPS won't even come pick up on the weekend. I can't deliver on the weekend to Canada Post. So just you got to keep all those factors in mind. So some of the boxes, for instance, I thought I'd go over the prices of some of them. So this one right here is about 71 cents a box if you order 25 or more. If you order 1,000, you can probably drop it by about 10 cents. But that also comes into a factor when you talk about space. When you start ordering 1,000 quantity of boxes, we just don't have the space for that. So we don't usually order in that quantity. So like 71 cents, I know this one, for instance, is $1.20. You can usually get down to about $1.10 or $1, depending on the quantity you have. Some of the smaller ones we do order quite a bit of. In the background, you'll see some bigger ones. They can go anywhere all the way up to $10, $15, $20 a box. So we don't factor that into our price of our product. That's all factored into the shipping. So our product it helps us get the product down, especially for people who are picking up. Like if you're picking up a product, I'm not going to charge you for a box because we're not utilizing a box. So you have to just keep that in mind. When we do, you try to utilize boxes that come in. if they're in good shape. Or packing material, we'll try to reuse as much packing material as we can. This, for instance, is craft paper. That's new, but it's a little bit stiffer, so sometimes it's nice. We use newspaper, bubble wrap that's in these boxes here. Also bubble wrap that come with any of our stuff. If it's still usable, we'll reuse it just because it helps us bring down the cost of shipping for our customer, and also it's just more sustainable. The other thing you have to factor in is tools, and for instance, tape guns. Now I don't really factor in tape guns because if you order enough tape, they'll send you a free tape gun. So I literally probably could have 10 of these by now if I wanted 10. This is a box shaper. It's just like a small tool. It doesn't. Some of this stuff is negligible, but you still have to work it in. This is a box stapler, so it's kind of nice in some instances versus using tape. Box cutters and blades. All of our lures and stuff, I use the bagger now. I used to use black tape and seal the cap. I use a bagger now, and it seals, and if it leaks or something, it should be a little bit safer. The other thing, down to the left here, that's for like pallets. If we send a pallet of traps to somebody, we can wrap them, secure them. Same as the plastic wrap. So all that stuff is cost. Then you have to throw in my time in order to ship it as well. So there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes too, just beyond the label. It's not usually the label is the vast majority of the cost, but you still have to factor in, and when you're talking about 10 cents here, 15 cents here, it can add up to $2 or $3 a package. So you have to be able to factor in all those different things in order to make up that shipping cost in the end. So basically, that's kind of the gist of our policy. So like I said, I'll reinstate it. So the Canada Post, if you order by 2, it should be the same business day that I get it to our post office. For UPS, it'd be next business day, unless we already have a scheduled pickup and I can get it packaged before that scheduled pickup comes. They usually come around between noon and 2, but they could show up at 10. It's not a perfect system that way. So basically now what I'll do is I'll package an item. I'll show you kind of me using the tools and stuff. After that's done, I'll go through and go over some basically strategies when you're picking out your items, especially if you are reusing them, for you to kind of get a better shipping price, and when to phone basically us to think about shipping if you can get a better price than what just quoting online. So basically we'll go over that. The next step would be to actually package a package, and that's what I'll do next. So the item today that I'll be shipping will be a single 330 Belial Super X trap. It's a medium-sized package, not huge. So anyway, just give me 1 second and I'll get it all packaged up, and we'll move on to weighing it. So it doesn't really take too long to package something. Now this was a fairly easy thing. I had already grabbed it. So yeah, take that consideration. There wasn't much time in that. More items, obviously, longer it's gonna take to package and ship it. Well, with this package, we kind of was fortunate because it was the last one in this box. So I just used the Belial box and cut it down. If you're in the nature of shipping anything, I highly recommend one of these as a box shaper. This is from Uline. What it does is you can adjust it and it'll just ride along the edge of the box and it scores the box for you. So if you're somebody watching this who already does a bit of shipping, highly recommend one of those things. It allows you to easily cut down boxes and it makes it kind of fit perfectly square to the box. You're not trying to guess. So from there, our next step is to basically measure it, which I'll do over here. Now I'm here in Canada, so basically all our measurements are in centimeters, whether in the US or in inches or not, I couldn't tell you. So 38 by 32. By 10. The other thing I'd like to point out is most of the shipping carriers only work in whole numbers. So if it's 32.5, it's 33. A lot of times actual weight, so we'll weigh this in a second, they'll take it down to the first significant digit or the first decimal place. So let's turn around here, I'll measure it for a second. So it's 2,700 grams. So from here, I take my numbers that I wrote down and I go over to my computer. Usually what I do is I do all the packages at once and I put the order number on the package. Then I take them all to the computer if I'm not walking back and forth constantly. But for today, I just need to do one, obviously. So anyway, what you'll see here in a second is you'll go to my computer screen where I type in all the information for the package. You'll see on the computer screen what we use is called ShipStation. It's a fairly easy program to use. It kind of consolidates all of our UPS and Canada Post shipments where we can do it all in one program versus having to jump between platforms or something like that. It also autofills all the information for us for shipping address and stuff like that. If it's a single item too, a lot of times the first time you input it, you can save it as a default and it will remember those dimensions for you. So it's kind of handy. Saves time. Definitely highly recommend it. I like it for using stuff. So anyway, from here you'll see my computer screen and you'll see me type in the 383210. You'll see the actual price of our shipping label. And you'll actually see the price that the people paid as well. Now I'm going to black out the names and stuff obviously because I don't want to show anybody's personal information. So anyway, we'll jump over there now. That I was referring you to, this is ShipStation. So this is the order that we will be showing you for the 330 Belial, as you can see here. So I'll click that. This is what I get. So it shows their address, and I'll block out any of the information you see here because I don't think that's right to the person who's ordered. Over here you'll see basically requested level of service, and then we have where it's shipping from, the weight in grams. So in this case it was 2,700, so we'll switch that to 2,700 grams. The service expedited, the package, the basically the length and the width, so 38, 32, and 10, and then the carrier. So you'll see here our rate down here is $16.45. They have paid $20.86, so it's about $3. But again, that's just for the label. This price here. So when you factor in the box and everything, you're getting pretty close to what that actual shipping amount would be if we did have to use a box. This time we're kind of lucky we didn't. So, and you also have to factor in the time it took me to do it. So I'll show you an example here. Like if I was to switch this to $90, it's not going to change the price. Just because it's Expedia, we get our first $100 for free. So I always type in 100, regardless, because it's not going to change anything. And basically, once we hit that part, all we have to do is hit create and print label. And it's purchasing it from our carrier. It's sending it to our printer. And there you have it. And that's all I have to do. That shipment is, the label's been purchased, and I just have to stick the label onto the package now and drop it off at the post office. And that's the other cost, is I don't have pickup here, so I physically have to drop off everything to the post office. UPS will pick up, but Canada Post does not. So it's a fairly simple process. There's no, it's not very complicated, but it's all time and workaround. So that's just example one. There's a couple here I thought I would show you. We'll go into shipments. So here's one here. The shipping label was $13.97. They paid $15.98. Now I know this went out in an 8x8x8 box, so that box is roughly $1.50. So when you factor that in, we're almost exactly on what our cost would be. Just one. I'll show you another example here. It's another one here. The shipping was $16.01, and they paid $18.16. So as you can see, like, this is a real world example. It's what it costs us. As you can see from below, like, the product's only $10.99. They ordered 3 of them, so $32. If we were to take that $16.01 off of 32, we're left with roughly $16 again. So there'd be no way that we would be able to basically ship coyote urine. So just some reasons why we can't offer free shipping on a lot of items. Anyway, so after this point, what I'll do is I'll show you the very last step, and we'll go back to the shipping table where I fixed the label, and we'll I'll give you some hints and tricks and some of the prime examples of products to maybe phone in about shipping. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, so now that you've seen the computer side of it, the kind of the real world prices that we're dealing with, hopefully it's a little bit more understandable as to why we have to charge for shipping. This is the label that it prints out, so 4x6. It's a thermal label, so there's no ink associated with this, but you do have to buy the labels, and they're not overly cheap. Like, they're for what they are, they're not inexpensive. Now normally you just peel and stick, and way it goes. So basically, like I said, you can't have any crinkles in this, or they won't accept it, basically. And this one's obviously going to Canada Post, and it's basically set and ready to go. So tips and tricks. The biggest 2 tips and tricks involve items with void space or stackable items. So void space items would include, like, say, cage traps. I can put items inside those cage traps and basically have the same shipment cost as if there was no items in there, because of that whole dimensional weight versus actual weight. So you're talking about like a 3 kilogram trap that's shipping for 21 kilograms because of the size of it, I can easily put more weight inside there with an increase in shipping. So if you know there's something in the future you're going to want, phone in, get a quote from me, and I can probably fit it inside the cage trap to ship it. The other thing is stackable items. So I'm talking about roof vent covers. If they're stackable, either try to order the pack size, or if you want to order singles, phone in and let me know. If it's just one, it doesn't matter, but if you're talking 2, 3, 4, 5, let me know and I'll get you a quote for shipping, because I can stack them and save you quite a bit on the shipping cost. The other one is misshapen items. If it's a weird item that like a Z shape or something, sometimes I can fit them together better and it's just going to work out better. So phone in about them ones. The last part is, like I said, just look at the items that you're shipping and think about how they might fit together. Does it make sense to order these together? Are you looking for other things? Stuff like that. So always pay attention to what you're shipping. And if you phone most companies, they might be able to help you out this way. I just know we can, just because the way the system works and stuff like that. So if you ever, like I say, if you ever questioning shipping, let me know, and I'll get you a real quote, and hopefully it'll be better than what is saying online. If it's greater than $5, I refund the difference minus like 2% because of credit card fees. But it can help you save quite a bit, especially what I said with the cage traps, because of void spaces and anything that can stack. So back cones would be another one. I can kind of stack them, the white back excluder ones. So just think about that. And if you're ever questioning it, feel free to phone. It's 613-925-4599. So, or you can message us, email shop@wcscanadastore.com, or you can even go onto our website. We have a little chat function. I will get back to it. If it's after hours, it might be when I get back in, but you will get a response either by email or over that chat thing. So feel free to contact us. I'm always here to give advice if you need advice for something or whatnot. We have a lot of experience behind the rest of the people here who work with us. So thanks for watching. I hope this clears up for any information shipping wise you had, and subscribe to the channel if you want. Share the video. I'm sure that other people will be happy to see why shipping is the way it is. So anyway, thanks, and have a good day.